All right, we need to have a serious conversation about what Argentina is planning for 2026, because this team, this Abbey Celeste, is abnormal.
Six.
Big.
Team is already honing its skills in preparation for another World Cup run. Additionally, the chaotic Scaloni era is getting ready to add another chapter to an already legendary tale. With their style, mindset, records, and nearly unmatched level of dominance, this squad altered the course of football history. However, it appears that they are far from done. Following Russia's 2018 collapse, Lionel Scaloni assumed leadership as a total unknown, an interim coach, a novice, and a risk-taker. From that uncertainty, he created an empire. He piecemeal rebuilt the squad. Gave Di Maria, Otamendi, Paredes, and Depay new life. Returned Messi's excitement and found names that nearly everyone else couldn't see. Julian Alvarez, Dibu Martinez, Cuti Romero, Lisandro Martinez, Montiel, Noel Molina, Lasso, Loro, Enzo Fernandez, and Alexis McAllister. Argentina's 28-year title draw came to an end with this generation. First came the Copa America in Marana, when Messi won his first championship with the senior national team and the curse was broken by baptizing Du and Cuti. Then came the final match at Wembley, where Italy was destroyed 3-0. The crown jewel comes next. Qatar in 2022. The most dramatic football final in history came later. Argentina's ascent to fame. They continue without stopping. They regained South America in 2024 and win another Copa America thanks to an extra-time goal from Lero Martinez. The world should be terrified by this portion, though. Argentina avoided becoming mired in nostalgia. They weren't frozen in the splendor of the past. They changed. They brought about modernization. They gave a dynasty that already knew how to win everything new life. Julian Alvarez, Franco Mastanto, Nicopas, and Diagala. Lionel Messi, the greatest player of all time, is still leading the team, but a new generation of talent is bolstering it. Together, they dominated the cable qualifications, taking first place and even defeating Brazil. The only goal left for this new Argentina is to finish football. Winning consecutive World Cups and continental crowns, something that no national team in history has ever done. Additionally, the 2026 Argentina national team is not typical, so if you believe it is impossible, you haven't been paying attention. And the world will soon discover why. The younger generation in Argentina accomplished much more than just winning awards. Through records, milestones, and numbers that seem nearly impossible to duplicate, they erased all traces of the past and rewrote the national team's identity. This group accomplished more than just win championships. They reinvented the nation's football culture, erased decades of frustration, and produced a statistical legacy that seems almost unreal. Every tournament, qualification cycle, and away trip became a chance to shatter a new barrier due to their tremendous domination. The first significant event of the Scaloni era, the 2019 Copa America, was where it all began. Korea. All right. The longest unbeaten streak in Argentina's history began with that competition. 36 games in nearly 2.5 years without a loss. They outperformed the renowned Basel cycle of the early 1990s, which had remained unaltered for many years. The message was evident even though the streak ended abruptly against Saudi Arabia in the first game of Qatar 2022. Argentina was now practically invincible. The dominance was equally dominant in the South American qualifiers. The third longest unbeaten streak in World Cup qualifying history, only surpassed by two separate Brazil eras, was achieved by Scaloni's team with 25 consecutive qualifiers. Even after the run came to an end against Uruguay at La Mona in 2022, Argentina set a new record right away. 11 consecutive games without a loss, surpassing Marcelo Bielsa's prior record. They turned into a wall on defense. Argentina won 3 straight away qualifiers without giving up for the first time in history. An indication of Scaloni's tactical development and the formation of a backline led by Cuti Romero and Di Martinez. The streaks that struck the heart of the area then appeared. Triumphs in areas where Argentina had endured decades of hardship. After 15 years, they triumphed in Bolivia, 16 in Peru, 14 in Venezuela, and 12 in Uruguay. Otamendi's header at the Maracanã in 2023 ended Brazil's long-standing home invincible in qualifying. The pinnacle came on March 25, 2025, when Argentina defeated their fiercest foe 4-1 at the Monumental and qualified early for the 2026 World Cup by scoring 4 goals against Brazil for the first time in World Cup qualifying. As we move into the next period, this is what makes Elvis Celestias so dangerous. They were more than just winners. They developed into the group that shatters every obstacle in their path. The team that triumphs in situations where victory was not imaginable. The group that modifies South American football regulations. They are now pursuing history once more as the World Cup approaches. If this generation changed anything more than lineups or tactics, it was Argentina's footballing culture and mindset. Indeed, for more than 10 years, Argentine football has been a major force in the world. However, the story was brutally unfinished before the Scaloni's ascent. Consider it. A 2014 World Cup final defeat. Consecutive Copa America losses in 2015 and 2016. The heartbreaks against Brazil in 2004 and 2007 came before that. Argentina had a golden age that consistently made it to the finals and fought with Messi, but they were unable to take the last step. Lifting trophies wasn't Scaloni's biggest accomplishment. It was demonstrating to the players that they could. That there was no longer any dread on the shirt. That players who were previously unknown or disregarded could eventually develop into leaders and form a new core of captains. He transformed potential into identity. In addition to creating a club that did more than just play beautiful football, he established an exceptional dressing room culture. Their hearts were impenetrable while they played. And with characters like Du Martinez, the punishment emperor who gained access to Yurimina's mind, how could they fail? Are you now really into me? Who put an end to 36 years of waiting with Di Maria scoring in every final as if born for the grandest stages, or who silenced the Dutch who made the incredible save against Calmani in the last seconds of the World Cup final with Cuti Romero entering to neutralize Mbappe or Montiel taking the penalty, or players like Mauricio Depal, Enzo Fernandez, and Julian Alvarez tearing Brazil apart while Lero Martinez delivers in extra time to retake the continent. And Odi scored at the Maracanã to end a curse that had lasted for decades. Argentina prevailed because they assembled a group of captains and leaders who would sacrifice their lives for the badge. With 196 games played, 115 goals scored, and a fairy tale start in 2006, Lionel Andres Messi was the greatest of all time and the ultimate captain. The incredible performance in his 10,000th game versus Australia, the spin that caused Vardal to fail in Qatar. In the World Cup final, Lucille's battle, the Copa America he carried on his back, and the night destiny ultimately gave up. Messi turned into the Scaloni's soul. It has been an absolute privilege to watch Lionel Messi for nearly 2 decades, remarked Gary Laker. A gift from the football gods, football is captivating and delightful moment after moment. There is now one last chapter and one last mission for this core of captains. The back-to-back is what they desire. They aim to accomplish something that no national team has ever done, win both World Cups and Continental Cups in a row. And Argentina has assembled a tremendous team that can accomplish it. A new generation of exceptionally gifted people will be led by Messi, Du, Guti, Paul, Enzo, Loro, and others. Nicopas, Juliano Simeone, Diego Almada, Franco Mastanto, and others till 2026. This team from Argentina is not typical. They are serious competitors for the World Cup, the Copa America, and the final. And if they are successful, Argentina might become the greatest national team in history. Argentina had an incredible team going into the 2026 World Cup, constructed from a core of players who will defend the title they gained in that historic Qatar 2022 final against France and who already understand what it means to capture a championship. Lionel Scaloni is assembling a team according to his preferences, full of football players he has total faith in. Even if they might not always perform at their best for their clubs, these players change when they put on the Argentina shirt. And this is more important than ever since Lionel Messi has everything set up for a spectacular departure in the inaugural World Cup, which will feature 46 national teams and 3 host countries, the United States, Mexico, and Canada. Messi wants his final chapter to live on forever, and it will be a historic tournament. As the 34-year-old defender of Argentina's future, Emiliano Martinez steps in. The man who continues to be Scaloni's unquestionable number one and who was crucial in Qatar 2022. He has had a great season at Aston Villa. Additionally, DU is always on the verge of paradise and hell, delivering the most terrible errors or the most impossible saves. What an unfortunate ball. Yes, he becomes unbreakable when wearing the Argentina shirt. Additionally, no one in world football is superior in penalty shootouts. He is the best penalty keeper in the world. At 29, Molina is in excellent form. The right back for Atletico de Madrid is renowned for his projection but is mostly rooted in defensive discipline. In contrast, Christian Romero is one of the Premier League's greatest center-backs and the best in the entire CONMEBOL region. He is the epitome of perfect timing, a leader, and a monster in duels at the age of 28. He always gets the same outcome because he knows just when to press, slide, and wait. The ball is won by him. The entire defensive framework is stabilized by his presence. Because of his leadership and expertise, Nicolas Otamendi, Scaloni's trusted general, is still a viable candidate. Nicolas Talio, on the other hand, brings security in duels, good forward projection, and high defensive awareness. Despite arriving less sharp than in 2022, he is still a dependable left defender. Argentina's flow starts and stops in the midfield. And the driving force behind it all is Enzo Fernandez. The Chelsea midfielder is no longer the youngest member of the team. Instead, he is more mature, complete, and deadly. He is among the most talented number 8s going into the World Cup. Outstanding control, superb long passes, amazing tempo control, and now the ability to score goals. He has 4 goals and an assist in the Chelsea season. Argentina has also benefited from this development, as evidenced by their outstanding goal against Brazil. Enzo drove with power from midfield, pierced the interior channel, matched Julian and Depal's speed, remained afloat within the box, accurately read El Molina's cross, and completed with brutal precision. When he found McAllister between the defensive lines with a half-height pass that resulted in a spectacular finish against Brazil, he once again demonstrated his exceptional ability to appear precisely where danger is born. Argentina's transitions become deadly when Enzo is in peak form. The ideal balance is found in Alexis McAllister, a midfielder for Liverpool who has improved his mid-range shot and is at the prime of his career. Excellent pushing figures, 3.43 tackles per game, and intelligence to win duels and break lines. One of the most memorable passes of the decade is still his help to Angel Di Maria in the World Cup final. He appears between lines with perfect timing and has a greater understanding of space than nearly everyone else in the squad. He created, dictated, and scored against Brazil. That version of him is what Argentina needs. Rodrigo Depal is the warrior who never stops running, the heartbeat, the fighter, and the lungs. Because of his effort, ball recovery, and leadership, he is still an indispensable member of Scaloni's 11 at Inter Miami. Every stage of the play is given structure by him. Without question, Julian Alvarez will be Argentina's number 9 up front. His development at Atletico Madrid has been absurd. Currently an expert in free kicks, a hybrid forward who can occupy any offensive zone and a Maradonian dribbler when necessary. Scaloni has a great deal of tactical flexibility because he can play as a winger, striker, or second striker. He is one of Europe's most cunning attackers because of the way he moves in the box, constantly staying on the verge of the offside line. Lionel Messi is another. The 38-year-old is getting ready for his last national team dance. And anyone who believes he is less dangerous now than he was in 2022 is just mistaken. With 62 goal contributions, 42 goals, and 20 assists this season, Messi leads the Major League Soccer, MLS, in goals with 34 and assists with 18. He continues to smash world records with his 850 career goals and 401 assists. His dribble is still deadly. His long-range shooting was unharmed. He makes the best decisions in the world. Messi makes a spectacular debut in 2026. One of the cycle's revelations is Thiago Almada, his late equalizer against Colombia, his goal against Euro White, his assist to Juliana against Brazil, and his pass to Alvarez against Chile gave him his first standing ovation while playing for Argentina. It was important for him to travel from MLS to Botafogo and then Lyon. Scaloni rewarded him after he got into the rhythm of Europe and started. Only Julian Alvarez has contributed more goals than Almada since the victory in Uruguay. Alongside Messi, he has been Argentina's best player in these qualifiers. Additionally, the future is already here. Nicopas offers sophisticated methods. Focused control. Nico pass is a lovely turn. It's a nice ball that went to Dubicas. Dubicas, still. The ability to play between lines and a powerful long-range attack. Diagala has mobility, can dribble in confined places, and is a top creator's last pass. Giuliano Simeone brings verticality, persistent pressing, physicality, and ferocity. An aggressive forward. Franco Mastanto contributes deft technique, quick thinking, a creative outburst, and excellent finishing touches. With a world-class spine, the world's best penalty goalie, the greatest creative of his time, one of the tournament's finest defenses, a dynamic midfield, and a front line full of goals, intensity, and intellect, Argentina had the deepest roster in the Americas going into 2026. Like the video, subscribe to Kickster Facts, and turn on notifications for real football facts you won't hear anywhere else.